All right. Welcome, Zelda 2 lovers, to the first Zelda 2 Randomizer race. I'm joined by Buzz Thunder. We're going to be doing some commentary on this race versus number 16, Neerrm, and number 17, Enchantress of Numbers. So I think we're about set up here. We're just waiting on the racers to get everything finalized, and then we'll be ready to go. This is, I think, the first official race. There was one last night that they're having a do-over due to the, yeah, and because of the bug. Yeah, that's right. Yep, and they're actually having another race at the exact same time. So we got two races happening. Unfortunately, I can only restream one of them, but yeah, it's a great day for Zelda 2 races if that's what you enjoy. Looks like I'm dropping some frames here. Let me just see if I can do something about that real quick so that I stop dropping so many frames. You probably don't want to be watching my stream. You probably just want to be watching the multi-Twitch. Uh, yeah. Yeah, gotcha. It's pretty sweet, right? I can't tell if I'm doing something wrong or if my internet is just a little cranky this morning. I don't know why I'm dropping frames. I'm not dropping very many frames, so maybe it'll just work itself out. Hopefully. I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to be optimistic. But I do have both runners up on stream, and it looks like people are ready to go. Solid 60 frames per second from Rep. Well, that's good. That's good to know. Yeah, it's not dropping very many frames, so I'm just gonna roll with it and hope it works itself out. Should be all right. Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and give these runners the clear to get started. And we can start this race. It should be a lot of fun. Looks like we're about ready to get started. The racers are readied up, so we're going to start in about 10 seconds. Alrighty. And we should be off. It's going to take just a little bit of time for the streamline to catch up with the RaceBot, but we should be good to go. And hopefully we should be hearing some game audio too once Neerrm's stream gets started.
Alright, and we're off. It looks like they found the trophy cave immediately, both of them. Which is always a good sign to get an item right away. Oh.
I'm I wasn't seeing Neerrm's stream updating, but okay, here he goes. He just started.
All right, and we have medicine in the trophy cave. Medicine or the water of life, which is required
All right.
to get our spell in Mido.
I'm gonna reset Neerrm's stream here on my side because I think I might have been lagging a bit behind for him. So
Okay, no problem.
they did both get the medicine, correct?
They did, yes. And now we found an entrance to Death Mountain with the rock spot right there. There's always an item under that rock spot in Death Mountain. There's another item that's guaranteed. It's going to be
Right.
underneath one of those caves. So what you see Eon doing right now is just popping in and out of every cave.
Yeah, trying to find Hammer Cave, and she does actually.
Yep, that's
Finds.
very fortunate. That never happens to me, but it's nice when it does.
Neerrm, meanwhile, has found Fairy Town, so he can turn that medicine in right away.
Not bad. Eon taking attack level 2 early.
They're saying you're a little quiet, so I'm going to try and boost your audio
Okay,
here.
no problem. I can shout as well.
How's that? Is that better?
Test mic check. Can everybody hear me okay? All right, and in Mido, turning in the medicine, we have the fairy spell, which is a great spell to get early. Now he can,
Yep.
if he can cast it, can get downstab as well. Probably not castable with magic level 1 though this early.
We're about to find out what is in the Hammer Cave.
Yeah, they still think I'm quiet.
Okay, let's see what I can do about that.
Trophy is in our Hammer Cave in Death Mountain, which is our item requirement to get the spell in Rudo Town.
Perfect, I'm being told. That's good. My main problem now is that I still seem to be dropping a few frames, but hopefully that works itself out.
And Neerrm dealing with a nasty desert encounter. Early.
Those desert encounters usually are pretty terrible to
Yes,
work your
early
way
game
through.
desert encounters in the randomizer are unforgiving because you can run into about 3 Darias at the same time, or Dyras at the same time, and that is never fun. Also, we have Eon getting into Mido, and we'll be
Yep, so
rewarded with the
she'll
fairy
grab the
spell.
fairy spell. Always a good thing to find early on. For those of you who are new to Randomizer, the fairy spell is very important because it allows you to go right through key doors in palaces. So you can save a lot of time and a lot of frustration trying to find keys if you have the fairy spell.
Yeah, another big thing, especially if you're not familiar with Randomizer, the first thing you'll notice in the overworld is that the overworld has been completely randomized. All your towns and palaces are going to be in different spots. Everything is scrambled, so you basically have to learn the entire overworld map as you go.
You do not lose the race if you game over. You're welcome to continue. In fact, you'll see people intentionally game over from time to time to warp back to the starting palace or the beginning of the palace that they're on to save time.
Yep, always a good strategy to press up and A on the second controller and refill your health, refill your life count, everything. As long as it doesn't sacrifice too many experience points.
So it looks like they're just trying to hop into caves and find some items at the moment. Still not ready to dive into those palaces, but they have found a few palaces. Looks like they found Palace 2 and Palace 3 from what I've seen. Neerrm just found Lifetown, but unfortunately he found the wrong end of Lifetown. He would need to know Bagu to get across the bridge there. Or actually casting Fairy works in that situation as well. Yeah, Oki, I am dropping a few frames every now and then, which is probably what you're seeing. It's not dropping a ton, but it is dropping a few, so I apologize.
All right, now we have Eon with the good side of Saria, Lifetown, where you can go and return the mirror to the lady, and she will reward you with a spell.
You must be a fair bit ahead of me then, if she is in
Yeah,
Lifetown, because
I have 6:20 on my clocks that I'm watching.
All right, so I need to do a refresh of Eon's stream, I think, because she was not okay. That's much better. Cool. So what spell did she grab? Did you see? Or has she not? Yeah, she got the spell.
No,
Do you remember what it was?
no, I missed it.
Sorry,
I apologize. We'll have
I
to
was
wait. We'll have to wait
distracting.
for a pause here.
Or maybe if somebody in chat saw what she got. Probably not, since I was refreshing the stream. Can't be much better than Fairy Spell. The only other spells that you're really interested in besides Fairy are Thunder and Reflect. Those are required to beat the game. The other ones are nice to have, but you don't really need them. Things like Life and Shield.
Okay, we have the grass
Just saw
spot. Eon getting the flute from the grass spot.
Neerrm just picked up something as well. Was that a heart container? I think that I saw. Eon got the horn.
Yes, that was a heart container.
So right now, the biggest advantage that Eon has is that she's found the trophy in Death Mountain. That's gonna get her one extra spell compared to Neerrm. And if that is Thunder or Reflect, that could be a huge advantage. We see Neerrm walking into Shield Town, so we'll find out what this spell is. And Eon has found Jump Town as well, so she is going to turn in that trophy. We'll be able to see what spell she has.
Oh, and fire spell in Raru, Shield Town. And thunder spell in Rudo.
Thunder spell.
We found the most helpful and the least helpful spells right around the same time. In my opinion, fire spell is
We also see that she got the spell in Lifetown, so she might need that spell a bit later on. But two great spells. The trophy is required, which means that Neerrm is going to have to trek back into Death Mountain at some point in the future.
And now we see them both entering Palace 1. Always a good strategy to tackle Palace 1 early.
Need to refresh these streams real quick. I think I'm a little behind again.
I'm at 9.
I'm reading about
9:30 right
9:30. Yeah, perfect.
Palace 1, always a good starting point. The smallest, you can get through it with your low levels and easy to get an item in there as well. So you find it early, you just want to dive right in for the most part. And now
Yeah,
the streams are
absolutely.
absolutely synced up there in the same exact room.
Giving each other a high five. it can be actually on these settings very tempting to go into Palace 1, even if you are not 100% prepared, because there are a lot of extra keys with these settings. And Palace 1 is so small that you can usually work your way through it
Yes, with that.
based on.
Yes, that's another setting that's changed on our tournaments here. That's different from our vanilla Zelda. Would be the extra keys. So if you're in a palace where you would normally see a P bag has been turned into a key, just to give you a little bit of extra help and exploration, because it's easy to get key blocked out of palaces in the randomizer. And Choke saying the virtual spoon, which is the Angry Larry coin term instead of high five. Might have to use that one instead.
It's a little more. I don't even know what to say.
It's slightly
actually.
more sensual.
Yeah, intimate.
Yes.
I think. And we see our first blue iron knuckle of the game. Not the most popular enemy in Hyrule.
Yes, and there you go. You can see why when both of our racers get killed by the same guy at the same time. Yes, not fun to find him early, because when your attack is this low, you know, it's probably going to take you at least 10 shots, and you got to be careful because he'll probably kill you in about 2 shots. So best to just avoid him and run away like both of our runners just did there. No need to deal with him. And they are tackling this palace with the exact same strategy, the same path, really. Okay, now we got our attack spells evened up with Neerrm getting attack 3.
Yeah, it looks like Eon's stream is lagging. Seems to be continuously lagging a little bit for me. Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to keep it up to date, which is why you see me refreshing it periodically.
And just more blue iron knuckles. Things are not getting easier in this, but we have the fairy spell, which you see Neerrm taking advantage of and just zipping right by.
I think it's interesting to note that they both have the fairy spell, but did not get downstab, which would have made these blue iron knuckles a lot easier to deal with.
That's interesting as well. They may have both had magic 1 at that time. It might have been uncastable. I didn't notice the value, so I would guess that would be the reason.
We do have the item room here, so we'll get to see what
And
Palace
another
1
one of those
contains.
friendly blue iron knuckles.
Of course.
And both of them low on magic, so ferrying past him is not an option. This will be quite a task to take him out. Eon doing an okay job here.
If you get really aggressive with them, you can actually hit them fast enough to where they won't throw that many blades. But if you you know, hang back a bit and try to play defense, you just get hit with a whole barrage, like
Yeah,
you
both
see.
of our runners are on their last life currently. Oh, one more hit for Neerrm, and he's going to have to start at the beginning of the palace. But that was good for Eon, because Eon had that extra death and now is able to ferry. If she can, yeah, there she goes. And we have the boots in Palace 1,
The
a very good item.
boots, it's a fantastic item. One that Neerrm is definitely going to want, so hopefully he can stick it out. And
Yep, you got to be very. He's fighting this Iron Knuckle very gingerly, because going all the way back now and losing close to a level, this would just be all sorts of bad early game to get killed right here. And our relentless blue Iron Knuckle will not go down.
lots of HP on these guys. Although attack 3 is not helping the situation either. Eon just remembering that she had another blue iron knuckle on the way out that she did, that she skipped.
And unfortunately, after all of that, Neerrm takes the death and goes back to the beginning. That's a pretty brutal death, because that's a time loss of about at least 3 minutes there.
Yep. But he does know where to go, and if you're going to do that, Palace 1's the best place since it is the smallest palace.
Not terrible, because once he gets back there, will have enough magic to ferry past and carry on. So yeah, Eon definitely with a decent start here as far as having our trophy from Death Mountain.
Yeah, pretty sizable advantage
And
over
then
Neerrm.
now we have another game over here, a game over from Eon. So that advantage has gone away slightly. Now, something you'll notice is the experience management, another thing that's very important in Randomizer. My strategy is always to keep your magic and life pretty low levels, and then you want to capitalize on your gem, because once you complete a dungeon, it's going to fill you all the way up to your next possible leveling point. So you want to maximize your rewards at the end of every palace. Sorry, I say dungeon. I do that a lot. It's actually a palace.
We see Eon finding the first boss. We got Horsehead.
Mr. Horsehead. Always a
Her
fun boss.
experience is very low though, so she is not really prepared. It'll be interesting to see if she decides to go back and grind, or looks like she's just going to keep going.
Yep, cash it in. So there's our first palace completed by Eon, about 16 minutes in. There we go. Now Neerrm gets back to his arch nemesis in the item room, and we'll be able to ferry right by.
Yeah, just skip right over him. Can't blame him for that.
No, not at all.
He even got the key door unlocked last time, but just wasn't.
That's actually what killed him, is because he wasn't able to block because he got locked in the key opening animation.
So Neerrm's got the boots. And we're going to see these players leverage those boots quite a bit, I imagine.
Yes, definitely. Great item for avoiding encounters. Oh, and here we have Eon finding the worthless fire spell. Not entirely worthless, just that's my opinion.
The fire spell does have its fans out there. That's for sure.
It makes you look cool, I think. That's probably the only thing. All right, and Neerrm's about to finish up with Palace 1. We're going to see a little bit more exploration of the randomized overworld here. And there is Eon finding the medicine cave, which is the most difficult of your West Continent caves, because you run into three mediums, mid-tier enemies here.
And we see Neerrm turning around. It looks like he is going to try to grind up some experience before placing that gem.
Maximize that gem experience count.
Unfortunately,
not a bad idea, especially when you got 200 from that red iron knuckle.
Well, it seems that unfortunately most of the enemies he has to grind on are blue iron knuckles, which are...
Yes, that's not fun.
On Eon's side, though, we saw the hammer was in Medicine Cave, so another great item.
Great item.
My cat is very pleased with the news, as you can hear. I need to go let him in. I'll be right back.
Okay, we might see Eon finding that hammer go right back to Death Mountain, because if I remember correctly, that first entrance to Death Mountain had a rock spot on it, so that's another easy item to find early. And Neerrm's still grinding and still running into blue iron knuckles, trying to get that last 70 experience. It looks like he's finally given up and is just going to cash in the gem and only get 70, because he doesn't want to mess around with any of those blue iron knuckles. So a waste of time and a waste of experience there for Neerrm, putting him a little bit farther behind.
It'll be interesting to see what Eon decides to do next. I believe that she does have most of the items from the overworld. Um, so all that's left just about are the palaces, and I guess one more item on Death Mountain that she could go for. We see Neerrm already taking advantage of the boots.
We do have all the West Coast items. We found Heart Container Cave and Magic Container Cave.
Oh, wow. We see Eon going back into Death Mountain and grabbing the item under a boulder, which is the glove. Fantastic item to find
Yeah, so
at this stage of the
Death
game.
Mountain being very fruitful with requirements here, because those are the two #1 things that you need to beat the game. Is going to be your Thunder Spell, which you needed to get that trophy in Death Mountain, and the glove. I mean, technically, it would be possible to beat the game without the glove, but it's going to be very rare that you don't need it in Palace
Yeah,
7.
I don't think I've ever seen it
Yeah,
happen,
yeah,
actually.
I would not go in Palace 7 without the glove.
So Eon's now heading into, is this Palace 2? I'm assuming?
It's a little too early to tell. It looks like 3 to me.
I think it's 2, actually. Interestingly, still has not gotten downstabbed, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, I figured that would be worth a minute of backtracking. I love having downstab. Yep, definitely Palace 2. And Neerrm getting his own hammer. And hopefully he decides to explore Death Mountain. That will save him a lot of time and frustration.
Yeah, finding that early glove is a big game changer when you're playing randomizer.
That's the last thing that you want buried in Death Mountain. Oh, and there's our item in Palace 2 is the raft.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Let me
Eon
reset
is
this.
just... She is doing very well. Very good pace here.
My apologies to the streamers for not seeing the raft when it happened. The Eon stream is lagging way behind on me. Although it's probably my computer's fault.
And Neerrm in Syria, returning the lost mirror, and he will get himself a spell, the aptly named spell.
Probably going to be a little disappointed that that's what he finds. And well, here we see Eon clearing out Palace 2, fighting Helmet Head.
Yep.
So very quick Palace for her.
Let's see what she decides to do for experience here. Helmet Head is down. And he was worth enough experience that it's worth getting a gem, and it'll be worth about 400 for Eon there.
All right.
Eon opting to cancel to use that because she's only a little over 100 away from an attack level. Well, 180 away from that. Now only 110. The gap closes quickly. It looks like Neerrm is going into Death Mountain here.
Yeah, smart choice by him. Although slightly unusual, most players will try to avoid Death Mountain because it can
Yes,
very easy to get lost.
I'm definitely in that boat of avoiding Death Mountain. I would be in trouble this seed because I don't like messing around with Death Mountain. And with those...
And Eon heading into Palace 3.
Yes. Neerrm in our grass spot there with the flute.
Oh, so he did find the flute. Let me make sure to mark that.
Yep. Don't blink. It only takes a second to find an item.
You can see though, in terms of the item game, Enchantress is still way ahead. Although Neerrm does have the hammer as well, which I forgot to mark. Let me take care of that.
Yep. And unfortunately, Neerrm didn't stick around in Death Mountain.
Which is unfortunate. I remember Eon finding the trophy relatively quickly in Death Mountain, so he must have maybe come in from the other side,
I'm not
or
sure.
I'm not.
I may have been mistaken. I thought he went in there. Here we go. Now we're gonna get a down stab, which is something that you can see right now. Eon has to do this room a little bit slower, take a little bit different path. Oh, well, I guess she wants to get the key anyways, but again, it's always slower to do this room when you don't have a down stab. Not a big deal, but down stab is just a real luxury.
So as on an administrative note, I'm going to restart my stream real quick in an attempt to fix some of these frame drops that I'm having. So sit tight, everybody. We'll be back in 30 seconds.